everybody. It's Tuesday. I'm Tony George from Doc Sports. He's Sean Salisbury, host of the Sean Salisbury Show on iHeartRadio. And find Sean at Sean Unfiltered over on Twitter as well. Coming to us from Houston. I know he'd love to talk about his Astros. We'll talk about them when they're playing somebody good, Sean.
They just swept the White Sox 4 straight. That was the best team in the American League, supposedly. They dismantled them. You know this, Tony and Sears. You're right. I mean, they're playing great baseball, and that's without Kyle Tucker and with Bregman hurt as well. And the other guys are stepping up. They're getting great in the length in their starting pitching. But truth of the matter is, and I judge, it's one thing to judge a team by how good they are against really good teams, obviously, because in the playoffs they're good teams. But I always like to see how a team responds after kicking a team's ass and then playing a team you're supposed to beat that's like 40 games out of first place in Baltimore. Right. And they went out and hung 10 runs on them. So I always like to see where the focus is. This team they're getting abuse everywhere they go. And I guess I'm sending out a message, or keep it up one way or the other for the fans in other cities, is it seems the more you talk about what happened with the trash can banging, the more the Astros are responding in okay, then we'll just score 14 runs on you. So they're playing really good baseball. And if they're going to be a tough out, man. This is a really good team. Yeah. Their lineup is relentless. They punish you. So that's for another time. But those power rankings, the Astros are sitting near the top now after that beatdown and they've won 9 in a row and 12 of 14. They're pretty good right now.
They were good on the over 10 last night with a 10-2 final for my
team. I took that one too, brother. I took that one too.
And Odorizzi pitched a lot better than I thought he would. I mean, I thought maybe Baltimore puts up some runs at home. I'll give them that. I mean, they're not even though they're not a great team, they don't throw in the towel. And I thought they might be able to hang 4 or 5 on him and just be a shootout. But he played well last night. Houston's a team to keep your eye on.
Yeah, his third start after an injury too. So he labored with a lot of pitches, but still no-no'd him on his way out of the mound. So, and when you get that kind of run support, you can labor a little bit. And the bullpen did a nice job. So yeah, it's been fun to watch here in Houston. After the Rockets season and the Texans season last year, God bless them. They need some love, man. There you go.
Yeah. Well, some good banter on the radio down there and a lot of bragging on Sean's show. So be sure and tune in to iHeartRadio and subscribe to Sean's show down there. There's always a little bit of Houston talk. We're talking about we're going to go up north here. The New York Mets and the Braves played a doubleheader yesterday. They split. Both of them low-scoring games. We saw Jason DeGrom in action today. A pretty good – matter of fact, this is a really good matchup, which is why I wanted to talk about it. You got Charlie Morton going up against Marcus Stroman today. A couple of good pitchers. You've got Atlanta minus 105, New York minus 103. Bear in mind that the Mets are pretty tough at home. They're 21-8. They're 21-8 at Citi Field here. And Stroman has had 4 games lifetime against the Braves. He's 4-0 with a 1.88 ERA. Both these guys, obviously, he has the better ERA of the two. He's got a 2.34 on the year and a 6-5 record, which usually doesn't equate, but we all know the struggles with the Mets offense, Sean. And I think Charlie Morton will provide a stiff test for him here today. Although his ERA does go up on the road, he's sitting about a 4.28 on the road and versus a little under 3.8 at home here. The one thing that makes this game interesting, Sean, is both these bullpens are nothing to write home about. You got 2 good starters. Both these bullpens got over a 6 ERA their last 5 games here. I got to tell you something. I really do I'm leaning Mets at home here. I think Stroman's the better of the 2 starters. Atlanta, a lot of expectations this year, Sean, for Atlanta. Especially on the season win totals on the over. They were a big, huge bet out here in Vegas with a lot of players I know, and they have really yet to kind of get their traction, for lack of a better term, and be a dominant team, because I know they have the personnel to be that way. I knew the Mets were going to struggle. Great starting pitching, and the offense stinks, for lack of a better term. But I thought Atlanta would be a much better team. But right now, I think the Mets are the better team of the 2.
Yeah, I do. And Tony, since 1976 for the Mets, the Braves, this is the first time back-to-back doubleheaders, obviously shortened games, but back-to-back doubleheaders. since they played the Dodgers back in 1976, and they got that doubleheader today, we're obviously taking care of the Stroman and and that's tough to do. I know it's not a far trip, but it's still tough to do to put that out there with Stroman and Charlie Morton. If this was the postseason, I don't care where they played. I don't take big game Charlie, man. Charlie's got some stones, and when he was in Tampa and in Houston, but it's a regular season. He's a little bit elevated ERA. He's capable of going out and shutting your ass down. But so is Stroman, fairly electric with his stuff. I'm with you. I like the Mets in this game. I don't think the Braves are going to go away. The excitement of a guy like Acuna, I love him when Freeman and Acuna are on the field at the same time.
Right.
They're a fun watch, right? They're a fun watch, but going back to back, now you're back home against the Mets. I tend to take the Mets too, and they are, like you mentioned, a really good home team. Feels like a pretty good year. The Knicks get into it, the playoffs. The Mets were highly publicized, and they're going pretty well. If the bats pick up, and this is a fun pitching matchup, even though the ERAs may not say so, I'm staying away from the total number on the game. I like the Mets at home in this one, and I think it'll be close, but I think there'll be a little extension. I'm going to take the Mets in this one too. If it was on the road, be a different story. Charlie Morton at home, even though he's really good, I like the Mets, and I like Stroman at home with the Braves having a back-to-back doubleheader since first time in 40-plus years. Yeah,
and the one thing too here, I always like to fade pitchers off a really good performance. And remember, Morton, this last start, took a no-hitter into the 7th inning. And here he is. And that's something that's always an angle that I look at, especially like to fade pitchers off a no-hitter, period, the next start. Always do. But the other thing, too, here that I think is a great betting angle is you've got two good starters, no doubt about it. But who's going to go longer? And Stroman's going 6 to 7 innings in a lot of his starts here. And then you go to the bullpen. So you're going to get probably an extra inning out of Stroman if he's on his game tonight, maybe more. And if that's the case, that gives Atlanta less of an opportunity to get into that bullpen with over a 6 ERA. On the other side of the coin, Atlanta's bullpen's crappy, and they're over a 6 ERA. And I think the Mets hitting lineup can get into that sooner than what the Braves can. I think that's going to be the difference in this ballgame. Look, this is going to be the total in this game 7. This very well could be 3-2, 4-3 type game. I really think that both games went under yesterday. I just think with the better starter that maybe can go an extra inning in the third, inning and 2/3 here, Sean, I think that's going to be the difference in the ball game. I'm going to go with you. I like the Mets, and you're going to get them. You're getting a team that's 21-8 at home at -103. That's a great money line value.
I would 100% agree. We are on the same page. The NBA game earlier that we picked in this one, I like it. And if you stay away from the bullpen, the Mets at home are pretty difficult to deal with. I'm with you 100%.
He's Sean Salisbury. Find him at iHeartRadio. Be sure and get over to DocSports.com today. Folks, we have a 20% off sale. Any handicapper out there, any package, any sport. There's a lot of fun stuff going on, especially with the soccer. A lot of guys are doing this soccer that's going on television nonstop. Some really good guys over there. But 20% off. We have a promo code. There's a promo box. Just type in anything 20. That's anything 20 in any of those promo code boxes in any handicapper, any sport, any package, and get yourself 20% off. It's a 20% off. It's a white sale today at DocSports.com. And be sure and check us out at George Sports on Twitter, at Sean Unfiltered on Twitter. And Sean and I will be back Thursday and Friday with free picks. And if I'm not mistaken, Sean, I want to get this right, but I think your last 21 free picks that we've had on here, you've won 16 of them. So I'm sure my competitors are coming out of the woodwork trying to hire you as a handicapper now with that record.
Well, I appreciate it. It's nice, but I'm right here with you. I'm not going anywhere. I'll take 16 and 5. It puts a little money in your pocket, and hopefully we're making money for some other folks too. We appreciate it. And pop on in. You get good stuff here. Plus, we have a lot of fun doing it, and making money is always a fun thing, brother. You know that.
That's right, folks. You know what? I hate to lose more than I love to win. So get over to Docs and experience some of that. Let's get it done, baby. Thanks for tuning in.